Hey guys, it's the real Christian girl talk, and I'm back here with a different kind of video. And today I will be going over how to go from an F student to an A student. Now, this is coming from experience, so let's get into the video. My first tip, I have 7 tips on how I went from FF to A. Now, my first thing that I started doing was calendars. Number one, calendar. I wrote things down into a calendar, and then later on I started using a digital calendar. This will help you stay more organized and just overall keep it together. Also, when I was failing class after class, it was because I didn't know that I had assignment after assignment. So, calendar. Number two, pick easy and hard classes. Now, many of you guys don't know, but I am in college. So, to be in college, you need to take at least 12 credits each semester. And that can be a lot, especially when you're transitioning from high school to college. So, what did I do? I mixed it up. I had too easy and too hard. So basically, whenever the two easy classes were like, okay, I have this, I would focus more on my two hardest classes. Number three, try to get a good grip on the material and just the structure of the class. This will help you with time management, and it will help you be able to know like how much you can actually slack off. Because I'm gonna be very honest, my first term getting all A's, I was not very good at time management. I was not very good at much of the things that I'm trying to tell you guys to be good at. But what I was good at was knowing what to study and when to study it. I would not sit there for 3 hours studying a subject that I know and that I love. I would sit there for an hour and maybe 30 working on the hardest subject that I am doing that semester. And that's how I got A. Now, moving on to my fourth tip. Don't fall behind in your classes. Do not. This was a very big thing for me when I was failing and failing and failing. I was not doing the work. Don't do that. Which it sounds like a very basic tip, but no, for real. I literally was sitting there thinking, "Oh, I'm not gonna it's going to be okay." No. Do not say to yourself, "I can catch up." You do not know that. And let me tell you right now, you're not going to, cuz you don't know what it's going to be in May and whatever in May, and then in the fall, in December. You don't know how much that work is gonna pile. And if you have four assignments each week and you don't do them each week, at the end of the semester, you're gonna have four times how many weeks classes go. So don't do that. Instead, be honest with yourself and pick classes that you know you can manage. And my next tip, which is kind of tied into 4, but number 5 is be honest with yourself. Drop that class if you have to. Do not be afraid to drop a class. When I failed, and when I say failed, when I failed that semester, I was like, oh my goodness, this was never going to get better. I should have dropped these classes immediately. Immediately. I should have dropped those classes immediately. It was not going to get better. Be very honest with yourself. Don't be like, oh, I can handle it, or oh, I need to take these. Do not feel pressured to take certain classes that you just know you can't do right now. Especially know your own schedule, know yourself. Don't do that. Do not do that. Drop a class, drop them all. This semester, I dropped must see 2 classes, and I was very picky because I was like, I am not going to get into something that by May, April, or even February is going to be too much, and I'm not gonna be very, very unhappy. Now, number 6, time management when studying. Now, I am not the best at studying, and I don't really have any friends. When I go to people for tips, they don't know what to tell me. So I say study how you want to study. But what I have to say is time management. There were many times I would sit down for an hour or two studying and studying and studying and studying. And then I would look at how many assignments I have that week and I'm like, 10 assignments? I've been here studying and studying and studying when I should have been sending in assignments. So know how much you should study. Because sometimes in certain professors, they'll give you everything. The book is just there for more knowledge or to work ahead. But in their lecture, they'll tell you what's going to be on the test that week. And that's what you should study. So be very careful not to sit down for 10 hours working aimlessly when you should be sending in assignments. Now, for my final tip that really helped me, and there was a lot of tips, but I'm only giving 7 for today. But my final tip is success is not an accident. Oh my gosh. I learned this. I'm gonna be very honest. I did not completely grasp success is not an accident until I failed those classes. But I remember I learned this in theater. We plan for claps. Like we plan for applause, we plan for laughs, we plan it. Like my director would literally tell us, pause for a moment because you don't know when